Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news with a load more updates and info on Star Citizen Alpha 3.19, as well as some new features for that you might not be aware of that Cloud Imperium have talked about recently in a patch watch. Although we've covered it before as well, we'll talk very quickly about the reveal of the Mirai Fury and the Mirai Fury MX, as well as some settlements that are coming to Star Citizen Alpha 3.20. So, from the Star Citizen newsletter, Star Citizen Alpha 3.19 is now open to all backers in the PTU. Hop into the PTU and experience all new salvage contracts, see breathtaking Lorville skyline, and try out the new player experience. So we've got Fleet Week coming up on Friday the 19th of May, running until the 30th. So that's going to be awesome. We also have Alpha 3.19 going live, probably early in the week, probably by Wednesday at the latest, because they want that out before Fleet Week starts, and probably want like a day of settling in. We've had a Alpha 3.19 patch watch, Mining with Style, which looked at some updates and new features that are coming to 3.19 that aren't necessarily on the public roadmap. Typically these are minor features or some interesting add-ons, but sometimes they add up all together to some quite meaty stuff. So let's have a look at this post. New outfit at Aprelli. Head over to Aprelli, the posh boutique located in the promenade in New Babbage, to find some new chic clothes from Marius and Pacifica. Become the talk of Microtech and strut your stuff in these fancy new duds. There are some additional mining changes, so this is beyond what we've already seen in sort of some of the patch notes and what we've seen inside Star Citizens. The extraction beam. The mining attachment for the multi-tool now has an extraction mode, which speeds up the process of collecting the ore or gemstones that you've mined. Press B by default to switch between mining and extraction modes, and make sure that you have a backpack on to store your spoils in. Mining gadgets. When mining particularly difficult rocks, mining gadgets can be used to ease the process. With Alpha 3.19, multiple mining gadgets can no longer be placed on the same rock, so choose your gadgets wisely. Item locomotion. With this update, mining sub-items can now be held in your hands and stored in your inventory, which can then be attached to a mining head with the tractor beam. These sub-items can now also be found in loot containers throughout the verse, so keep an eye out. I do always like expanding loot containers and things that we can find loot-wise. Saddlebags. The saddlebags aboard the Prospector and Mole can now be removed with a tractor beam, then transferred to another mining ship, and then refined at a refinery station. You can actually put these sort of cargo pods in, or these mining pods in a cargo ship, but you can't sell them unless they're attached to a mining ship, such as the Prospector, such as the Mole. So sort of bear that in mind. You can move them around a bit, but you need to attach them onto another mining vessel. Clouds over ArcCorp. Completing the set of planets in the standard system, ArcCorp now has a beautifully overcast cloud layer above the planet-wide city. Check them out while completing the new player experience. So obviously you've got the tutorial, which is optional, which appears at Area 18. Do you want to mention that even if you're a Star Citizen veteran, it might be worth doing because you do get 15k Alpha UEC as a little reward. There have been a couple of new PTU patches over the last couple of days as well. So the first one made some changes. They re-added the Arbor Size 1 and Size 2 mining head variants to shopping locations. There was a balance pass for ship weapon and component sell prices. They fixed the Urza rover at the prison. Was sometimes spawning under garages. They fixed players being unable to call elevators from rest stop refineries. They fixed being unable to send friend requests on the main menu, and the replace me balls at the Lorville Hospital rooftop have been fixed, and there was additional 2 server crash fixes there as well. They did add some known issues to that build, so art assets were clipping through the train during journeys in Lorville, ships can explode from collisions with invisible asteroids, and the entrance of Lorville Hospital has a large viz area issue. So the second patch that we saw pretty recently, they significantly reduced ship weapon and component sell prices at shops as a temporary adjustment. They adjusted hints overlay to lessen overlap with the ship HUD. The MISC Prospector saddlebags should now appropriately be replaced when repaired or when the ship's destroyed when you reclaim it. Overlapping salvage claims were spawning near each other or exactly the same locations, so they've sort of sorted that out. Tutorial texts were overlaying with the ship HUDs, and they were becoming difficult to read, and they fixed more of that. And they fixed the Drake Dragonfly exit animation not playing when you exited the vehicle. They also fixed an additional 3 client and 2 server crashes. The known issues list did expand a little bit here as well, only seemingly by one known issue, and that's that sometimes party members can get kicked back to the main menu when the party leader launches to the PU, which is a little bit annoying. That 3.19 patch on the PTU, extremely good stability, playability, and performance-wise. Lots of stuff seems to have been sorted. It is hugely better than 3.18. Hopefully, nothing goes wrong and they deploy it to the live servers, because 3.18 on the PTU originally was running pretty well, reasonably well anyway, and then when it went to live, everything sort of went wrong, but this appears to be in a very, very good state, 3.19. Inside Star Citizen that we had last week, that talked about the derelict settlements that are going to be appearing in Alpha 3.20. So Cloud Imperium have made at least 15 new, very bespoke, interesting settlements across the Stanton sort of system. There's sort of big like fort ones they've got on Microtech and little fishing sort of retreats. A much more scrappy one on Hurston. There's sort of like just a big junkyard that they've started to form buildings out of. And there was an awesome one in the forest of Microtech, which sort of like got these overgrown like farms and greenhouses and things. But basically, Cloud Imperium have a huge amount of assets now to build out sort of like derelict settlements and settlements built with sort of, whether they be old ship parts or these bespoke interesting assets that they sort of all merge together, and each of these are quite unique locations that they've decided on. And the Rastar tool now is just getting more and more assets, allowing them to build more and more much more quickly. They also revealed the Murai Fury. Murai, they are a offshoot of MISC, so they are a new manufacturer, but they are basically just a division of MISC that combines alien or Xi'an tech with human stuff and is focused on performance. So the MISC Razor is becoming the Murai Razor, but the Reliant, because it's much more industrial and workhorsey, is still staying within the MISC brand, and they've got the Murai Fury, which is a very interesting ship. So it is a snub ship, no quantum drive, it appears. Lots of guns on it. 4 size 2s. I believe they're not gimbaled. Yeah, so lots of powerful weapons sort of mounted to this tiny little frame, which has a very small footprint when it's sort of folded and landed. Looks a bit like a Cartu Owl, because it's Xi'an-y. And yeah, so this tiny little frame, loads of weapons on it. It's going to be great for people having pocket carriers or being able to be carried on lots of different ships. Not sure if there's going to be a specific ship to carry it in the future. Quite possibly. It is Star Citizen. They do like to do things like that. I think a lot of people would want a pocket carrier for lots of little snubs. But also, we've got the MX version that was revealed as well, because we saw these in the PTU test that was done over the weekend. Not actually being able to test fly them, but we saw them in the expo hall that was being tested. And the Murai Fury gets rid of all its size 2 guns and just goes, I want 20 missiles. It's just got a huge amount of missiles, size 1 and 2 missiles. Just looks ridiculous. Just looks like a load of missiles strapped to the front of the ship. We have no idea on the price of this ship though, so between $40 and $160 was what, when I was doing a stream, what the chat roughly estimated. I think it's going to be like around $60. I hope it's going to be on the lower end of stuff. It is only a snub, as far as I'm aware. It does not have a quantum drive. I mean, it hasn't got room for it. Lots of size 1 components. As I said, we don't know exactly what ships it's going to be able to fit in either, because it's not in our hands yet, but expect a lot of ships that are able to fit any form of vehicle. Will probably be able to fit one of these. Maybe not any vehicle, because obviously there's bikes. It's not as small as a bike, but it's pretty small. That will go on sale and be straight to flyable on Friday, the 19th of May, when Fleet Week goes live. We had a Star Citizen live as well. Now, this talked about the optional new player experience or tutorial that's going to be available with 3.19 at Area 18 to start with. The tutorial does lock you into doing certain things before you can access the whole game, so just sort of bear that in mind. It is a work in progress as well, so expect improvements and bug fixes, like telling players that helmets are important for breathing in space. There was a little bit of concern with the tutorial because the route that's sort of set by the tutorial is static, and what if when you're going to the station to finish off the tutorial over that sort of static route, you get attacked constantly by trolls. Cloud Imperium don't really have a solution for that yet beyond the sort of standard systems that are already in game, the legal systems and that sort of stuff. But I would say do a GTA 5. So in certain areas, what I would do is if another player attacks you or blows something up or does a crime within a city or whatever, not only do you get a crime rating and people after you, but you also get charged for all of the damage, and that automatically gets taken out of your account. Because that makes sense, right? That makes sense in lore. You're in sort of civilization, and you'd only do this in certain areas. You do this in the safe areas, the tutorial areas. Just a thought. I just think that sort of makes sense to me, at least. I'm interested to know what you think. Have you tried the new player experience or tutorial in 3.19? What did you think of that? Did you have loads of bugs with it? Was it a good experience? Are you concerned about trolls and griefers, or it's actually not going to happen that much? And yeah, there's probably some small little things that Cloud Imperium could do to solve that. What do you think of the Murai Fury and the MX variant of that? Is it something you're interested in purchasing or getting in-game? Are you excited for Fleet Week coming at the end of the week? Have you been playing in 3.19 in general? What are your experiences with that on the PTU? And are you excited for all the new features coming along with that? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but give him a NordVPN subscription using nordvpn.com/BoredGamer, or the links below, and he'll browse the internet more safely and with greater accessibility for a lifetime, or at least until his subscription ends. He can then shop for his own fish from places like Tesco's, Walmart, or Asda or something. It also makes a fantastic gift. Next time you go to a dinner party or a wedding, bring them a NordVPN subscription. Bam! You'll be the talk of the town, and it's certainly better than bringing a fish. Please remember to like and subscribe, and if you'd like to go further to support the channel, then use that join button under my videos or the Patreon links below. That would be amazing. It goes a long way to helping Zin and I be able to create daily videos, and you'll get some exclusive perks, including some videos, posts, and polls to help guide the channel. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For May, it's for an Origin 400i, the luxury exploration touring ship capable of taking 3 crew to distant stars. It also comes with lifetime insurance and a Star Citizen game package. To be in for a chance of winning that, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details down below. Thanks very much for watching. I hope to see you in the verse.